In this video, guys, we're going to be discussing what is strings in C and how we can take advantage of the usage of this particular strings. And then, of course, we're going to be dealing with the different functions that we could use in order to work with our strings in our C programming language. Now, if you are new here in our YouTube channel and you want content about programming, I am inviting you to subscribe and press the notification bell so you'll get updated whenever we have a new upload. So without further ado, let's dive right into our topic, which is the strings in C programming. So basically, guys, when we say string in C programming, it is the one-dimensional array of characters. This is called strings. In other terms, this is just, a group of characters logically grouped together, and then there should be a sense why we're grouping these characters together. And this is terminated by null character backslash 0. So actually, guys, there are two types of or two ways to declare string in C programming. Okay, so we could declare it like this. Basically, guys, we have here the basic structure of our um, starter program. So hello world program. So I'm just going to delete that, and we're going to initialize or declare string in C programming. So you could do it like this. You could specify the type as char or char, and then of course the name of your variable. So you could name it something like this, name, and then you could specify here the um, length of your array of characters. So for example, 6, and then in here we could um, add the different characters for this particular string. So we could say here, for example, H, comma, and then we're going to specify another character. So first you have to specify single quote and then the character, and then single quote to close that particular literal string, and then another comma, and then single quote the character again, single quote, comma, and then single quote another character. Okay, so you get the idea on how you could declare your string variable in C programming. So I'm just going to continue working with this. So we have um, declared 6. So as I've said from the beginning, you have to, or the string, it is the one-dimensional array of characters, and it should be terminated by a null character. So null character in C is backslash 0. Okay, so basically now we do have the string name, and then we need to close this one up. So this is how we could declare our string in C programming language. And actually, guys, you could do it also like this. So for example, you don't need to specify the length. So char, and then you could say here last name, and then all you have to do is um, declare it as an array, but you don't have to specify the length here, for example 5 or 6 or something like that. So all you have to do is um, initialize this with an actual value, for example Hopkins, okay, something like this. Okay, and then close it with semicolon. So basically, guys, it means the same thing if we declare the string like this, or if you want to declare the string like this. And of course, we could try to display this. All we have to do is print and printf, and then we could say here the name is, and then we need to add the format specifiers. So %s for string, and then the new line specifier, and then comma, and then the actual value or string or the variable that we want to display, which is the name, something like this, and then semicolon. And we could also do the same for the last name. So printf, and then open and close parenthesis. The last name is percent, again, percent s, the format specifier for string, and then new line, and comma, then the actual variable, which is last name. So we could try this, add this, the semicolon at the end of the line that denotes that this is the end of this particular line. Okay, so make sure you do that because the compiler would complain if you did not specify the end of a certain line. So now we could build and run our program, and it should display your string like this. The name is hello, as we have specified in our variable name, and then the last name is Hopkins, as you can see here. Okay, so that's a good start on how we could start working with our string in C programming language. Now, there are functions, as I've said, there are functions that we could use if we want to work with our string more. So for example, what if you want to copy a string, concatenate a string, get the length of the string? So we could do that. We could also compare strings if you like to compare strings. So all we have to do, guys, we need to include um, a header file, which is string.h. So this um, header file contains all the functions that we need if we want to work with string in deeper sense. So string and then h. As I've said, this will contain all the functions that we need. Like for example, the str copy, str concatenate, str length, or if you want to get the length of a certain variable. So for now, let's just try this. This is for display. Display the value of our string, right? And then of course, here we could use functions to our string. Okay, so perhaps the first function that we could use is the str copy. So the keyword for that is str, and then cpy. So as you can see here, we have the auto suggestions, the str copy right here. So we could click on that, and then in here we could specify the string. So let me explain first what this means. So the strcopy function takes in two parameters. So the first one will be the destination, or the string that the copy of a value will be stored in. And then the second function, or I mean the second argument, will be the source of or I mean the source string. Okay, so again, it will take two parameter, this strcpy. The first parameter will be the destination string. The second parameter will be the source string. Okay, so for example, in this program, I'm going to declare another string here, and then you can say here str and then full name, for example. This is just for the sake of example. Okay, so for example, this will be maybe I don't know, maybe 13. Okay, so we don't set a value for this for now, and all we have to do is use our strcopy function, and then we need to specify the destination string. So for now, let's use this str full name as the destination string right there, and then comma, and then of course we need to specify the source string. Okay, and then the source string will be maybe the last name. Okay, now if we want to display the value of set or str full name, then we could use the printf statement, and then we could say here the full name is, and then percent %s again, backslash n for the new line, and comma for the actual value str full name right there, and then end this up with a semicolon. Okay, and then we could clean and build this just to see the result of our program. And in here we have an error. Okay, so we copied the actual value of our um, variable instead of using last name. So let's just modify this. So instead of Hopkins, it should be last name here. Okay, so clean and build our program, and it should be okay for now. And as you can see here, we have the display. So the last name or the name is hello, as you can see, and then the last name is Hopkins, and the full name is Hopkins, and these two is identical. That's because we just copied the value of last name and assign the value to the str full name. Okay, so that's how easy for us to copy strings inside our C program. So there are other functions as well if you want to explore more about this. So for example, the other function that we could use is str say at or str cut. So this will concatenate the string or toString. So basically it will just takes two parameters, the first one and the second parameter, and then it should, combine these two string to to form a new string. So let me show you that. So let's just use this str cat, and then maybe we'll just use the name and then the last name. So the first string will be name, okay, and comma, and then we need to specify also the what they call this, the string for the second string, which is the str full name. Okay, and then semicolon. Okay, and then after this we could display the value of our name. So all we have to do now is copy this and paste it this here, and let's clean and build our program. So first now let's just close this, close the output first, and then clean and build our program, and it should display here what we have done so far. So the name is hello, the last name is Hopkins, the full name is Hopkins, and as you can see here, the name is hello Hopkins. So as you can see, it concatenated the name and then the last name. So the name got the value of hello, and then the last name got the value of Hopkins. Okay, so I think that's all there is to it for this tutorial. And if you want to learn more about strings, all the functions, you could explore the documentation. So if you want to know more about the different functions available in um, this string.h header file, you could visit this website, And then you could see here the commonly used string functions. So we already have um, used the strcpy, strcat, and of course the other most commonly used string function is getting the length of your string. Okay, so again, this is all about this tutorial, and if you have questions, you can ask questions below in the comment section.